I've told you before that Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg is really, really good when he appears on right-wing media and when he's responding to his right-wing critics. Well, Pete Buttigieg decimated the homophobic comment of Marjorie Taylor Greene from over the weekend. Let's start with her comment. Now, you could check out my live stream from over the weekend from the Trump rally. I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about Pete Buttigieg. Without even seeing the clip, I assumed, and I know that sometimes when you assume, you end up made a fool out of, but I assumed that if Marjorie is talking about Pete, it's probably homophobic. It just the odds are, if I had to bet, I would say if Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about Pete Buttigieg, there's probably some homophobic element to what she says. And indeed there was. Here is what Marjorie said about the Secretary of Transportation.
More American than the roar of a V8 engine under the hood of a Ford Mustang or Chevy Camaro.
Oof.
An incredible feel of all that horsepower.
Wow.
But Democrats like Pete Buttigieg want to emasculate the way we drive.
Right. Of course, the gay Secretary of Transportation wants to emasculate the way people drive. Now, what does that mean? Emasculate the way people drive? I don't know, but it probably has something to do with electric vehicles, right?
And force all of you to rely on electric vehicles after they shut down your great Michigan auto industry. And
yeah. By the way, many Michigan-based automakers are making electric vehicles, making that comment particularly stupid. Let's go now to Pete Buttigieg's response. He appeared on Fox News with Neil Cavuto. He was asked about these comments, and his answer is pretty funny.
Well, you've been pushing for this. You've been very consistent with that. But Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Georgia Republican at a rally in Michigan, said this past weekend that Mr. Buttigieg is trying to emasculate the way we drive. She goes on to explain, by supporting environmentally friendly transportation. But what did you think of her wording?
He's trying to make everybody feminine by making us drive really cool, fast cars that you don't need to gas up and can charge in your driveway. It's really, really feminine of him.
I literally don't even understand what that means. I mean, my sense of manhood is not connected to whether my vehicle is fueled by gasoline or whether it's fueled by electricity.
Well, maybe it should be, Pete.
This is a practical matter.
Were you offended by that, sir? Because even people who, share her politics didn't share that view.
Yeah, it was a strange thing to say. To be honest, there are other members of Congress that I pay more attention to when I'm thinking about opinions that really matter or ideas that are going to be critical to engage with. I do think we need to zoom out a little bit, and I know people want to make this ideological, they want to make it political. We're talking about something like electric vehicles. We're talking again about a very practical matter, which is
Imagine taking the issue of getting off of fossil fuels, at least at the tailpipe for the way we drive around, and thinking that the issue really is about how the Secretary of Transportation wants to emasculate others. And implicit in that, of course, is the fact that Pete Buttigieg is a gay man. It's just unbelievable. And I know I've told the story before, but I'll remind you of it. I've experienced this. There's something about the electric cars that really triggers a lot of these right wingers. And I've described before more than a couple dozen instances where when I go anywhere and I park in the parking lot, a grocery store or not a Starbucks, of course not. But, we're at places I really do go. I will often park like in the furthest spot from the front door. And I've always actually done this just because I just walk more, right? I'll get an extra walk. I walk more to the front door and then I walk more back to my car. But also I am kind of protective of my electric vehicle and I don't want to park near people and I like to keep it far away. And a couple dozen times I will come out and there's one of these big, just gas guzzling behemoth pickup trucks with a thin blue line sticker. And once it was with a Confederate flag parked right next to my car. They're intimidating me. They're really intimidating me. And also just on the road, the pickup truck people with the stickers, the Trump stickers, whatever. at a green light, when a red light goes green, just zooming off and leaving me in a cloud of black smoke, probably costing them $1 in gas for that show of manhood. There's something wrong with these people. There really is. And Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about a V8 Camaro and Mustang and electric vehicles being emasculating is basically the exact same thing. Will they ever come around? Yeah, I think eventually they will, because electric cars are clearly the way things are going. So I think eventually they will come around. And some right wingers have. That F-150 Lightning pickup truck, electric, is selling pretty damn well, I have to say. The science tells us that one of the best ways to get consistent deep sleep is lowering your core body temperature. When your body stays cooler at night, you're more comfortable and your sleep is better. Our sponsor, Sleep Me, is the home of Chili Sleep, the customizable, climate-controlled sleep solutions that can improve your sleep by keeping you cooler at night. There are 3 different Chili Sleep systems. There's the Ooler, the Cube, and the new Dock Pro with double the cooling power. All 3 systems are water-based, temperature-controlled mattress toppers that fit over your existing mattress to provide you with your ideal sleep temperature. You can go as cool as 55 degrees. You can go really hot if you want. I keep mine at 60, beautiful temperature for me. Don't wake up hot and sweaty. Chili Sleep keeps me asleep all night. It feels great. I didn't know it was possible to love sleeping even more than I already did. Go to sleep.me/Pacman to learn more and get 25% off your new Chili Sleep system. Click the link below to start staying cool at night.